Welcome back, everyone. Rachel Hoyt here, low stakes poker player and spiritual sociologist. We are going to do another playable hands for my self-science experiment, as I'm calling it. I'm doing a couple different types of experimenting to prove some spiritual things. That's why I'm calling myself a spiritual sociologist. I do have a bachelor's in sociology and did some research in college, which inspired me to do this. So we are using the My Poker Game Journal, which I created. Third section has the playable hands. I have already written out all the action as I am going to say that it will happen. And we are now going to ask the awesome deck, which I also created. Awesome deck, please. I'm expert shuffler, as you can see. Awesome deck, please show us what hands my opponents had, which led to me winning this hand as I wrote it. Please show me the flop, turn, and river that led to me winning. And please show me what hands the middle position and cutoff had, which led to me winning this hand. Shall we now? Show me how I won this hand. Right there. Okay, so we have middle position and cutoff, middle position and cutoff. And we're going to burn, turn the flop, 4 of charity, 10 exciting challenge, and queen of decisiveness, which is where on the flop someone went all in. Well, I bet big and they called all in. Burn, turn me to a potential, burn. River is, ooh, another queen. That's not looking great for me. Let's see what my opponents had, shall we? Oh, there's the queen. Queen of assertiveness and queen of overconfidence. They beat me. I did not win this time, though. Most of the time when I have tried to manifest the winner, I have. I believe this is the first loss. And the cutoff, who actually folded on the flop, why they were in the first place, who knows? They had the 8 of healing and the 5 of pomposity. I suppose that's why they decided to play to the flop. So there you have it. I had kings. This person ended up rivering, tripped queens, and beat me. So for the first time I had not manifested the winner, but it's possible the cards do make sense according to the fortune telling. I don't have any of the cards that I am specifically tracking appearing in this hand, but that doesn't mean it won't be interesting. Stay tuned for a minute while I rearrange and we will analyze further. All right, so you saw me deal out this hand. I have now done a bit more analysis of it, and we're gonna discuss. So I turned back over the flop, turn, and river so that we can talk about them as they come up instead of having them all visible and confusing. So here is my hand. I have pocket kings, loyalty, and diplomacy are my keywords for those. And in middle position, we have assertiveness and overconfidence. And in the cutoff, healing and pomposity. So what I try to do when I write up my playable hands is come up with some sort of plausible explanation for why people played the hand this way. I think just the mere act of thinking out the hand in any manner will make you a better player, whether or not you are pondering what goes through the mind of a bad player or a good player. You're still thinking through the hand in a new way, which will make you smarter. So without further ado, let's begin. So I said if I was one of 6 remaining in a $5 9-player sit and go, and I was in the small blind with pocket kings, I have 7.5K in my stack, 7.5 thousand. Blinds are 50 and 100. So I wrote down that I'm the chip leader by a hair. Blinds are 50 and 100. Under the gun folds, middle position raises to 300 with 1.5K behind, and cutoff calls with 3,000 behind, and the button folds. Big blind, who will act after me, has about half my stack, and so I decide that I'm going to go ahead and raise to 1,000 pre-flop to try and get at least one person out of the hand. Indeed, big blind folds, and I'm left with 2 smaller stacks in the hand. Queen 7 calls with only a 14% chance to win, and cutoff calls with only a 13% chance to win. Interesting to note that the 8-5 offsuit has about an equal chance to win to the Queen 7 suited, which might seem far superior, but it's really not. So in my narrative that I wrote up, I decided that the strange reason that cutoff would play with 8-5 offsuit is that they always, quote unquote, play this hand because their birthday is August 5th, and they've decided it's their lucky hand. So they probably, had a bad hand before this and are mad, and they think they're going to get healing by being pompous with the 8-5 offsuit, their lucky hand. So we go to the flop, and we get, oops, I'm turning these the wrong way, healing. Hopefully you can get a good look at this one. And exciting challenge, bloom where you are planted, and decisiveness, the queen of decisiveness. So the overconfident person, sorry, that's upside down. Overconfident person has flopped a pair. You can catch more flies with honey than you can with vinegar. Interesting. They did catch a little something, did they not? The man who is seeking healing by being pompous got nothing. I still do have the highest pair at this point. So I had written in my journal that I bet 3,000 in order to put either one of them all in, because I felt confident that I was ahead, which is true, and it's the smart thing to do. It's diplomatic, it might be considered GTO, I'm pretty sure it is considered GTO, and so I put them all in. The smallest stack of the 2 decides to call me with the top pair on the board. I'm still ahead, as I said, and this hand folds. So what do we get on the turn? The 2 of potential. Now this card I generally just say the word potential for, but one of the keys is that the person is under pressure. There's pressure like you're making diamonds or something, and potential. Beggars can't be choosers. See this little hand lifting a weight here that I used to illustrate it? Do you get the idea? So in my journal I wrote, this card made me a bit nervous. Now I'm wondering if it was just an exciting challenge for this person to beat my hand, and I'm about to be outdrawn. They now have a flush draw, and again they do have a pair of queens, and I still just have a pair of kings. Sure enough, what comes on the river? The queen of intuition. All the world loves a lover. Very seductive card. It shows that I was kind of seduced by this hand, and I've now been outdrawn, beaten by someone who decided to be assertive and overconfident in their hand. So what I decided that this hand was meant to teach is one of my beliefs about fortune telling with playing cards. I am guessing that most people would be intrigued to learn this method because they think it would ensure their ability to win. The same reason that people turn to GTO. Well, this hand, if you ask me, is a good reminder that no one is meant to win all the time, and no one is meant to know it all when it comes to fortune telling or reading tarot cards. That is my personal belief on the matter. I think if you look at this hand mathematically or from a fortune telling perspective, it was telling me to play the hand the way that I wrote in my journal in advance. Who would not raise pre-flop with pocket kings when you have so many people in the hand and are trying to knock out 2 more people in order to get to the money? Who wouldn't? And why wouldn't you try and put them all in on this flop when you still have a higher pair? And the person who called didn't have that much more money behind. As you see, if you think this out thoroughly, you will see that I did not lose enough to be out of the tournament. I still have 3,500-ish in my stack, so I'm definitely not out. I am just a bit down, and perhaps was reminded that no one is invincible, no one's meant to know it all, and sometimes the cards are just going to lead you to help redistribute the money and assist with someone else's fate. And sometimes the best hand is the one that you don't really suspect. You can catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. Birds of a feather flock together. Sometimes those cards speak very positively and turn into the winning hand. Hope you enjoyed this playable hand. I will be back again soon with another one. Please like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and I'll see you again soon.